What's
going on, everybody? Check this out. So they dropped the patch notes for DNF, and it looks like this is all that'll happen. So let's take a look. So it says striker, rising fist, that's our uppercut, reduce guard stun after second strike. So I think what this does is it makes it so that she can't force you to guard break anymore. I think after that second hit, we're able to recover in time to punish in between the uppercut and the Aritatsu. Magnum Salt? I don't know what that is. Let's find out. Magnum Salt. Oh, okay. So on block -5. Okay. It says reduce time unable to tech during the charged effect version. I'm not sure if I completely understand what they're saying. Reduce time unable to tech. Oh, so they make it more recoverable with a conversion, I'm assuming. So that'll make him a lot tougher to deal with, so that he's not still getting punished when he recovers once he hits the ground. I think that's fair. He has such a hard time getting in, he needs something. Bill Drill. So his DP, reduce guard stun after final strike. So I'm not sure if that has to do with the follow-up. I don't think that has to do with the follow-up. I think it just has to do with the DP, right? Do they each have their own? It doesn't have it on Awakening. Okay. Yeah, so just the DP. How did they fix it? Reduce guard stun after final strike. So maybe if he tries to do the Awakening, it's not a true block string. We have time to actually punish it. Increase guard pushback after final strike. Okay. So it's a little bit safer on block if you do it at the right distance. But if you do it close, you're able to get punished and not hit by the second Awakening. I think that's what they're doing with this. Swift Master, goodness gracious. Thank you for this. So that you're not getting bodied with all the wind orbs. MP regeneration, reduced. That's awesome. Wind Twist, that's his, hold on, I'll just take you there so you guys can see. So Wind Twist is his, where is the, here we go. This is Wind Twist. Thank you, goodness gracious. Increased time needed to start MP regeneration after they used it, I'm assuming. Increased time needed to start MP regeneration. Okay, so once they do use it, the time for them to get the mana back, even though it's up, is low. Wind Orb, increased time needed to start, and Storm Quicker. So Wind Orb is that stupid move that brings you straight into them. Right, and then it says, and then Storm Quicker. Which one is that? Is that the follow-up to Wind Orb? Okay. So now when he uses it, he's not getting his MP back enough to be able to do another attack following it. So it'll make his combo shorter effectively. Reduce guaranteed minimum damage. So he's getting a damage reduction. So instead of it doing a crap ton right off the bat, like Storm Strike, which is his charge move, Vortex Hurricane, which one is that one? Vortex Hurricane is, oh, okay, the follow-up to the Wind Twist, right? Where they pick you up off the ground. It says reduce guaranteed minimum damage. So it's not going to do as much damage. The minimum damage you can get after scaling is going to be lower. You know how they'll finish off the round and kill you in 2 times? He's not going to be able to do that anymore. And Storm Quicker, I think I saw that, right? Yeah. So when they're finishing you off with that attack, the minimum damage they can do after scaling has been reduced. So those as enders aren't going to be able to finish you off as much. Wind Blaster, reduced guard gauge reduction amount. Reduced guard gauge reduction amount. Okay. So I'm not sure if this is a buff to how much damage he does to your guard break meter. So they're taking away damage, and they're giving him more guard break capabilities. I believe that's what that means. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Wind Blaster. Reduced guard stun time. Okay, so it's less safe. Which one's Wind Blaster? Wind Blaster. Oh, okay. Okay. Guard stun time. Okay, so him doing that into the double windmill, where he throws the two windmills out, or the windmills, tornadoes, the sweeping wind, that attack into there is not going to be a block string anymore. We should be able to get out of that, because you know how he's able to pin you in the corner for that? Not anymore. Reduce damage. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Yeah, he was getting, I think, 90 off of that. So, like a Kunoichi bomb over and over and over. Wind Twist. Reduced duration time. Increased stun time. Disappears when guard break is inflicted upon Swiftmaster. Wind Twist. I know I just read these, but I need to see it again for my own mental health. Yes. Increased stun time. Disappears when guard break is afflicted upon Swiftmaster. Okay, so good. I'm glad they're reducing the duration, because especially as a, like, at least from my perspective as a ranger player, he negates everything that I can do, just about. But it was that it lasted so long, he could sit there and wait for an entire move to finish. And I hope it's a big reduction, right? Those should be used like in a combo or for very small, like, corner pressure. But he's been able to activate it full screen and run straight at you while in Awakening, and you have no chance to punish anything. Like, if it gets, and it's a separate hitbox, so if you get hit by it, it's going to interrupt any move, and they can block and then combo right after. So they're allowing for more combo ability, but it's going to have to be used more skillfully. They can't just skip neutral with this. Sonic move. Reduced white damage against opponents when guarded. Guard stun is decreased. Okay, so guard stun. So they can make it a true block string if they keep doing it in the downwards direction, down forward direction. So reduce white damage against opponents when guarded. So all they would do is they would do this aerial, this move right here, where they just dash down, 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 down to set it up. And if you press anything or you delay, or it was just such a great move for building up pressure and guard break. So the guard stun is decreased when triggered in that direction. I'm not sure if it's just this direction or if it's the down direction in general. Hopefully it's, I guess having that and reducing the white damage against us when it's guarded. So they're trying to improve it. This is actually a buff. But if they try to cross you up, then it's punishable, I'm assuming. So the cross up, right, making it safe by going on the other side and doing a low or an overhead, that's done. But they reduce the white damage against opponents when guarded. So they're not doing as much damage on block either. So no, it's not a buff, it's complete nerf. So this is it. I think what they're trying to do is not over buff everybody, but bring the other players in line. I think that, honestly, I think Striker is a fair character. I think what made her broken was that you lose if you guard, and I don't think that any option on defense should be taking damage from a character. And Striker was crazy broken for that. There should never be a time where a player has to take damage in order to not die or get KO'd. So this, necessary. I don't think that Striker was a broken character. I think if you're not DPing her dive kicks, you're either not looking for them, but like, she doesn't have a lot to get in with small recovery, right? Like, of course she feels oppressive in the corner. She's a Striker. It's like saying grappler shouldn't have that much damage. I'm like, he's a grappler. He has to, more requirements have to be met in order for this pressure to happen from these characters, right? The only thing that bothered me was that when she is in, it's so good, but that you can't escape ever. right? Like you can't utilize your mana options against her because all she has to do is reset you and start it again. So this will make strikers play more honest off guard. They're pretty honest characters in the first place, but they're going to have to be more honest with corner pressure. And I feel like that's where Ranger is, right? Ranger, I feel like is an A tier character, but he has to be honest because there are big gaps in his guard break pressure, right? Yes, he can do it from a distance, but she didn't give you a chance at all, right? And there's always a gap, and we have to time it perfectly. Not saying that they didn't, but at the same time, this was way more manageable at any point in the game, considering that all she needed was 100 mana. And you in the corner, and you have guard broken, and she gets right back in. That's fine. Now I feel like this makes her force that pressure more honest, right? They didn't reduce any of how much guard break it does, right? But she's not going to be able to do that uppercut link into Tatsu, and I think that's super fair. I don't know if this is really going to matter, considering that the real issue from him is not just his DP. I know it's like it is a big thing, but this dude has like instant unguardable overheads. I felt like that should have been addressed. Maybe the block stun or the guard stun time should have been reduced for his jump. Whatever that is, his jump B, I think that should have been reduced, hands down. Like, he's able to create an unguardable low and an unguardable overhead because of how, even if they reduced its active frames, right? It's active for so long and his guard stun is so long that even if you guess right, let's say I block it high, that third hit, because of how active it is, hits me if I crouch in the middle of that. Like, once I guard it, it should either happen faster to where, like, okay, I guarded high, that's a true block string, it won't let me duck after I guard it, because I already made the proper guess. Why do I have to double guess depending on his angle, of jumping? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So it helps. It doesn't solve the issue with Hitman at all. But we'll see. I really don't think that they hit the nail on the head with this one. This is all necessary. I still think he's going to be a big issue, considering that this, where it's Storm Strike, is a problem. I don't think he should have a long-range projectile like that. I mean, what's the point? He already has... Why have a long-range projectile when you can bring people to you? I feel like that's so unfair, the fact that it beats out mini projectiles and how fast it is. Like, even it used in combos, that's fine. I'm okay with damage combos. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with the fact that it covers 3/4 screen and he can also force you to play him, right? But what this nerf does do is when they're doing that Wind Orb Storm Strike combo and they're out of mana, they're not going to get the mana back to do that follow-up into Vortex Hurricane. They're not going to have time to do that follow-up, is what I'm assuming. I don't know how bad they nerfed it, so we'll see. But if they nerfed it really bad, then he's not going to be able to do... They're not going to nerf it to the point where he can't do the double Wind Orb combo. Like, if he catches you and he's putting you through the loops, the jump loops, then I think he will... Yeah, I just don't think he's going to be able to get the Storm Strike Wind Orb combos. I don't think he's going to be able to get the follow after that's done into another Wind Orb, right? Where you get put into the mix-up. I think it just ends at the Storm Strike now. We'll see when this updates tomorrow, but is this enough to fix DNF? No. I think there are a lot of issues with characters just lacking answers to things that everybody should have. For example, like anti-airs. The fact that Launcher has one but Ranger doesn't have a vertical shooting anti-air. I think everybody should be able to do that. They didn't address DK at all. I don't understand how you don't tackle Dragonite. I understand her whole spiel is having a bunch of mana, but she can do 90% damage on you from a light. They definitely should have reduced her combo juggle ability. I'm okay with taking 40%, but you know, you get hit once from that projectile, she can combo it from anywhere, and if you are unfortunate enough to be anywhere on like close to a corner, or at least like, you know, 3/4 of that side of whatever wall, that you're going to take 50% damage if she has full mana, right? And she gets free actual 50-50 mix-up after her throw. I think it shouldn't be a hard knockdown. I think if she gets that 50-50, it should be from a throw, like give her more to do with on a throw, right, when she throws in the corner. Or hard knockdown, it should be a soft knockdown because she already controls neutral so well. But I don't want to take away everything from her, obviously, right? But like, allow the wide swing, the big sword swing, to be hard knockdown, and take away the hard knockdown from the dragon throw, because she shouldn't get free 50-50 double mix-up off of, you know, one of her lower costing meter moves. Yeah, man. And she also gets ultra comboable, like she gets her awakening comboed from it. So I really think they should have done something with that, but I don't think this saves it, man. I don't think people are looking at this and like, yeah, my character got better. Like, they're looking at this and saying, okay, they just left all my characters' issues the same, but made these characters easier to fight. But, I mean, RIP to launcher players who, okay, yeah, they don't have to take the DP, like the block stun from Striker, but also, like, all of her moves are projectiles, and she has one move that beats all projectiles if spaced properly, right? I'm not talking about like super just people just throwing it out and it's working. I'm talking about people, you know, we're, you know, top 8 versus top 8. Striker's still not losing to Launcher for any reason. I mean, I may not be that familiar with the matchup, but I'm pretty sure that once she gets dive kick pressure in there, it's pretty much a wrap for Launcher. Enchantress, I feel like deserved a buff, but a reduction to her guard break meter, like her guard break damage. I mean, this is all up for grabs. What do you guys think about this update? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm really not. I love this game. I think this game is really, really fun. But there has to be a point where DNF says, how do we get people to continue to play this, even if it's just for advertisement of DFO? How do we get people to play DNF enough? I mean, it's a very niche audience, but at the same time, it's not the only games we play. So the fact that this is all they have after 2 months of watching people play the game and hosting their tournaments and whatever is just really sad. These were necessary before the game even launched, and I think that's what frustrates me, is like, they knew Swiftmaster was going to be good, but you have to understand that the FGC is so invested in fighting games that they're going to break something, but you want to make it as hard as possible. You want to make the game honest while also achieving the fun factor, right? Which is high damage, long combos. That's fine. Marvel vs. Capcom did this perfect. I mean, that's why it has such longevity and such a dedicated crews, because you're able to do all this damage and all these characters, and people can develop their own combos, and that's fine. But this doesn't solve the fact that they'll still be the only characters you see in top 8, man. It's going to be majority of these guys still. Well, I mean, minus grappler, but I think this helps because of how much white damage he takes per game. But this isn't enough for him, man. He should just have different moves that absorb lows. Then make the other person guess. I mean, this is just what it is, right? Or give him, I don't know. I think he's in a good place, right? I think it's just hard for him because of characters like this, right? But like Ranger's a terrible matchup for grappler because he just flat out gets stopped by lows. But I still think it's a 6-4, right? I don't think it's like a 7-2. I think it's definitely a 6-4 matchup because Ranger's normals are so slow. Yeah, I like the update. I don't think it's enough. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Yo!